I think it's very important for all of us to pay attention to this conversation today, because not only am I going to talk to you today with Michelle about how she just had her biggest month ever, literally enrolled 30 people personally, which, Michelle, by the way, congratulations on your best month ever. That was your best month ever, like in the history of your network marketing career. Yes?
Yes.
6 years in the profession, 30 personal enrollments, which is amazing. But her team did well over 200,000 in sales, their biggest month. So her team had the biggest month. She personally enrolled the most people she ever enrolled. And your personal sales, that was the highest sales you ever had. 96. Yes. Ridiculous numbers. Like, and I know some of us are going to go, oh, she's an influencer. She's such a great communicator. She's so consistent. I can't do what she does. Listen, even if you could just do 10%, like how many of us would be excited to sell 9,600 and bring in 3 new recruits? But here's the other thing. This is going to be a unique conversation, because as awesome as her month was last month, guess what just happened? Her Facebook and Instagram got shut down. You don't own your social media accounts. Any one of these platforms can shut you down. And here's one of the reasons she's been crushing it. She's built a list. It's really important for you to build a list. Now, let me be clear. A list could be a project broadcast text messaging list. It could be an email list. It could be both. You need to get people off your social media. It just makes sense, because you know people aren't always going to see all of your posts, all of your content. It's a way for you to stay in touch with people off of social media. So anyway, Michelle, I'm gonna turn it over to you. How you feeling? How you doing? Bummer about losing your accounts, but we're gonna get into some good stuff to help people so that they can maybe prevent that from happening, and also make sure they're building their own list.
I'm excited for the topic that we're going to talk about today in regards to making sure that you are capturing people's leads, because when something like this does happen, it's a moment where you stop. I was able to message everyone I have on Project Broadcast, but not only that, I had a Facebook group with 11,000 people in it, because you have to remember everything's gone. In order for them to get into that Facebook group, they had to give me their email. You don't have to pay yet. You don't have to have Project Broadcast until you grow to a level where you're like, okay, I'm starting to really get a lot of people and know a lot of people. But another thing is I have a notebook, and I also like this because you can't just put your business on automation. You can have a lot of things that are automated, but the reason why I have had so much success is because I actually pull out these people that have given me their emails, and I actually check in with them. I message them, how are you doing? I send a voice note. It's crazy that we have all these friends. If I were to ask you right now, say you have 200 friends, have you started a conversation with all 200 of those people? Better yet, have you invited them to take a look at what it is that you have, a gift? And if not, no big deal, because that's something I can tell you that I did with every single person. And if I didn't, I always just remind myself, I wouldn't be where I'm at if someone didn't do it to me. So your belief in what you have to give someone, you have to continuously be telling yourself on repeat, just like I am right now, that I'm so happy and I'm so grateful that my Facebook and my Instagram came back on repeat before something happens, that you have total belief in what you're using and total belief in your business. Because that's something with time and consistency that you can change your mindset and make it to believe that to become true, because you have to reverse engineer yourself to that goal. You're not going to just get to, I'm going to collect 100 emails in one day. So make sure the freebie that you're giving out, make sure the group that you're letting them be in, that you are a part of, that you're getting their contact information. You're making them opt in through an email. You're making them opt in through a phone number. So I think that'll be something that'll be a game changer for you. And then you have a next level, better way of communication on days where, say, I make myself go up to it 5 people a day, go through my Project Broadcast and actually message someone. Not automated, hey, there's a special sale going on. Like, hey, Brittany, it's been a hot second. How are you doing? I just did that yesterday with 3 people. They got restarted on the products. They're considering getting started as social marketers. 2 of them became social marketers. So sometimes, like I said, in these pivotal moments when things like this happen, it's like slow down and focus on who you have. Keep doing what you're doing. Go live in the morning. Instead of looking at 700 people on your live, you see 7 people. Just smile that it's 7 people. Take care of those 7 people, because this is going to be the way that I'm going to be able to show up for you now and say, what's your problem that you're on a live video with 7 people or 2 people or 1 people? Because I've been in the industry for 6 years and I had 7 people on today and I've been going live 2 years now. So you can't focus on that. What you can focus on is that my people are going to find me, because if they found me through TikTok and Instagram and Facebook, they're still social on there. I'm going to pop up on their newsfeed again. And they're going to go, oh, there she is. So you just have to keep going when things get tough. And by doing that, good comes with that. It's always the good that comes with it. Otherwise, if you take your foot off the gas and you stop, what good is that going to do for me? What good would that do for you? It wouldn't. So you just continuously show up and do what you know is right. And if you feel like what you're doing isn't right, maybe you're not talking about something on your Facebook Live that is right, or you're not saying something right, the more you tell yourself that you're so happy and you're so grateful that you're changing lives through live video, it will happen eventually. It might not be right now, but eventually it will.
And I think, for those of you that maybe are afraid to do live videos, part of me wants to be like, snap out of it, get over it. The other part of me is like, okay, if you're really that afraid to do live videos, you like, I don't know what to talk about, then do it in your stories. At least like if people see your face, right? And then you're also reaching out proactively. This is why Michelle does so good, because she shows up on live, she does the reels, she does all those things, but then she's also paying attention to who's paying attention to her. And she's in her stories. She's live on these platforms. Like she'll literally go live on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at the same time, but then she's also doing the reels. She's also repurposing content. She's also, proactively reaching out to people individually, and she's doing the mass messaging. So she's not doing one or the other, she's doing both. Like, when someone first gets started, they're like, hey, should I start posting or prospecting? I'm like, it's up to you. I'm not your boss. I'm not going to tell you that you have to do one or the other, but I would do both. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to post. You don't have to prospect, but then you don't have to make money either, right? It's like, like I have a gym membership, like that's not enough to get in shape. Like there's a lot more to it. You have to just show up. And then you can't just show up, you have to show up consistently. Then you can't just show up consistently, you have to do the work every single time you're there and not just be on your phone the whole time or chit-chatting. Like I remember, I don't go to the gym anymore because I have a home gym now, but ever since COVID, I've been working from home. But I remember before that, I'd go to the gym and people are literally like socializing. I'll see this one group, this one, couple dudes, like they're not even working out. They're just hanging out. That's not going to work for you, right? This business is a lot like a gym membership. You get out of it what you put into it. And in the beginning, you're probably not going to have all these leads and all these people raising their hand. And you're probably not going to be great at videos. Anything you suck at, that's exactly why we do trainings like this, to help you suck a little less. That's why we're encouraging you to do the videos and show up so people can see your face, to build that know, like, and trust. What I love about Reels and TikTok, by the way, is if you start making those short form videos, like let's say Michelle's traveling or she's really busy or she's just not feeling well, right? All of us have those times or days or, situations where we just can't really show up. Well, then you can repurpose older content, but you got to create it first. You have to show up and do the do. And I think it's really important to understand that like Michelle doesn't just rely on people coming to her, even though she could. How many leads per day before your accounts got shut down? How many leads per day did you have that were opting into your list, sending you a text message, reaching out for more information on average, would you say per day?
I'd say on average, 50 people.
Which means she doesn't really need to reach out to people.
But that took 5 years out of 6 years of being in the industry. When is this thing going to happen? When is it going to happen where I don't have to reach out to people, but it just happens when you do the right thing, and you'll know when it happens, like John said. And you're not going to get better at doing something until you just do it. Just rip the bandage off. How I started going live was like, okay, I'm going to do 2 a week. I was doing this when I first got started in the industry, I was doing this with 3 jobs and being a single mom. So I understand if you're not doing this full time, all you do is you set a commitment. I'm going live this week 2 times. And when you follow through with that, you build confidence within yourself.
Yeah.
You're actually hurting yourself even more by telling yourself that you're going to go live. And then each week that passes by that you just continuously are like, now it's week 6 and I still haven't done a live video. Then go do it. You will be such a different person when you actually do something when you don't feel like it. People think that you have to be perfect. Just be you. So what I say is, what is your passion? Is it knitting? Is it doing scrapbooking? Is it doing photography? Is it doing workouts? Is it doing, I mean, you could be cooking. So you could be doing your nails. You could be doing your makeup. Like, what is it, your hair, that you're really good at and you just talk? But
yeah. Or how about this? How about for those of you that are afraid to do it, or like you're doing it inconsistently, how about you start interviewing people on the team?
Yep.
Interview your upline, interview a sideline, like start identifying people that you can go live with. Something that we, again, overthink, that analysis paralysis. You know, I heard Ray Higdon say one time, if you're making less than $1,000 a month in your home business, you're in your head. And if you're in your head, you're dead, right? Like you're not going to grow a business thinking what to say and what to do. You have to start taking action. And I know one thing that Michelle does a lot of, and so does Nadya, is use ChatGPT. Go, hey, I sell this, this, and this. These are like my favorite products. These are the systems or programs that I want to promote. Hey, ChatGPT, help me come up with some topics that I can talk about in my social media to generate leads and sales for my XYZ business.
What we do on my power hours is so important because literally I created this entire business through my stories, and I'm doing it again. Because now I'm in my stories, who actually has their eyeballs on me? I need to personally touch out and be like, hey, Brittany, what's up? Happy Monday to you. Like, my name is Michelle. I live in Bloomfield Hills. You know what I mean? I have a daughter who's 10. What about you? I saw that you have a kiddo. How old is yours? Like actually being real and being the one that rips the Band-Aids off and asking someone about them, because they're not going to reach out to you. They're not going to. But the problem is don't do anything at all. Don't sit back and go, oh, okay, well, now I have 11,000 people. Now I'm going to do something about it, because you should have had 11,000 of those emails. It takes time, just like a house is brick by brick.
To transition into, you recruited 30 people last month, which is, again, absolutely mind-boggling. It's basically enrolling a person a day. And guys, this is not like she's launching her business. She's been with us for 2 years, right? These are mostly strangers. What's your philosophy there? What's your process there in regards to recruiting consistently?
So I was like, okay, I'm crushing it with the products. I go live and take my products every single day while I make breakfast. I'm going to go live for 10 minutes and just share my story. I'm going to share, what I used to do. I was in HR. I was a hairstylist. I was this, a pain point. I felt underappreciated. I missed home. I'm excited because I found this easy, duplicatable social retail system. And then I asked, if I were to share with you, it's a 5-minute video. It explains it way better than I can. And it's helped more people than I can count on my fingers and toes. You don't have to say your testimony. It's helped more people than you know. I mean, come on, you know me, you know John. Would you take a peek? If so, drop a heart in the comment section. Well, guess what? In the beginning, the first 3 months, I got crickets, but I did it for 6 months and then it blew up. Because all those people that have been watching, it's planting a seed. When you plant a seed, it doesn't harvest overnight. You plant it, you water it, you water it, you water it. You wish you could see it growing. It's growing underneath the surface, but too many of you would have stopped and gone, okay, so now I'm wasting 10 minutes of my day. My lives for the product are amazing, but I just kept going. You have to try something for 6 to 9 months before you give up. And you really have to marry that process and divorce the results. You do. And it's not easy. And there are going to be times when it's really hard, but you just have to pull back and say, I'm so happy and I'm so grateful that I am recruiting more people than anyone in this whole world is. And that's what I started saying to myself. One time I said in the nation, and John goes, no, the world. I'm so happy and I'm so grateful that I am the #1 recruiter in the world. Like, I've been saying those things to myself and now it's actually physically happening. But again, it's from what I was doing 6 months ago.
Getting consistent on like, what is your value proposition? Like what makes you unique? And Michelle kind of mentioned this earlier, but she's like, people don't just want to buy the product. That's true. They have a problem. You offer a solution. Why would they buy your solution? Why would they buy the product from your company or specifically from you? Because you have the unique personality that they can relate to. You have the unique story. You caught them at the right time. Actually, I wish I could play you guys this one audio clip I received this morning from a woman I've been in touch with for, I don't even know how many years. And something happened last week. We got into a conversation about business, but she sent me a message this morning how like she just appreciates how I build my business and how I've just stayed in touch over the years, never missed a birthday, always very responsive, built the relationship. And now, because the timing is unique, she's ready to get started. The timing is right. And now she's open. Why do I say this? Because this is what it's all about. It's not really network marketing. It's relationship marketing, being a good human, staying in touch with people. And by the way, I know for some of us, we struggle with this because, when you're new and you're kind of like a little desperate, let's keep it real. You got that commission breath and it stinks. You like need the money. But the truth is, if you're just coming across like an infomercial, like very pushy, very needy, or it's a turnoff. Now, if someone's coming to you, it is a little different. You have the upper hand. But if like you're just messaging a bunch of people and it seems like a copy and paste situation, you're going to get ghosted a lot more because these are people that like didn't express interest. You didn't build much of a rapport. They haven't heard from you in years. And now you're pitching them on something the first time. Like that's a turnoff to people. Does that make sense? So what Michelle's very good at, what I'm very good at, and what I think any top earner is good at is really being a great connector, a great question asker. They're very good in conversation and, cracking a joke and loosening the person up, not because they're manipulating them or because they want to pitch them, but because it's just you're being a good human. Be a friend first and a marketer second. This is such an important piece. And I know a lot of us struggle with this because we got these goals and like we're really trying to get this thing going. Sometimes you got to take a step back to take a giant leap forward.